Capricorn. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't do this online, but I do. I just saw that my lipstick is dwindling. And I need to replenish, Capricorn. I need to replenish. There you go. Thank you for your patience. So what is happening? You know, I have to say, it's like not every single reading is about love and romance or something really exciting, but this reading is not an exciting reading. But it is a very powerful reading, and it's a very important reading. This message is extremely important because there's been something that's sort of been degrading you and draining you, and it's got a lot to do with your health. Kind of see my suggestion would be see where Neptune is right now in your chart, and see where Virgo is falling, because those two energies, Virgo as the sign, right, the space in the cosmos, and as well as the sixth house, FYI, and then Neptune, because it Neptune deals with a lot of kind of infections, diseases, illnesses, stuff like that. Really see where those things are in your chart, and of course you can get free charts. I mean, Google free natal chart. I mean, you will come up with at least 10 different answers right there on the first page. So ultimately, I think it's important for you guys to understand that right now, because there's something to do with really your health, and health impacts a lot, and it has to do with family ties, family health, maybe even digging and doing some research into what's happening. You know, our family can impact us in ways, like in so many ways. But ultimately, definitely genetically, and that's sort of like learning more about you and getting to know better about your body and what is good for you and impacts you, especially eating cleaner and earthing, grounding yourself. You're an earth sign, right? You need to be grounded because there's a bunch of like free radicals or whatever they're called floating around in our bodies, and the earth is a natural sort of like nullifier of them. It sort of absorbs it and cancels them out. Touching earth, being outside, being healthy, you know, eating vegetables. I know that sounds really mundane. You're like, what reading have I just stumbled upon? A very important one, because there's definitely some sort of transitional period in your life, something that you're going through, maybe something that you weren't prepared to go through, something that's being forced upon you, levied upon you, or not given a choice. And I think it has a lot to do with your health, your actual physical well-being. And I don't take that lightly. I think it's extremely important. And this is a time when, you know, we are all tempted, because it's a very uncomfortable time for everybody. Like there's a lot of shit happening right now, especially today where there was like a grand cross in the sky, right? And what is cross? Like red cross and health, and like pay attention to it, because there's some sort of ambiguity that's going on here. It's got a lot to do with Saturn and karma, and understand that understanding yourself and your own responsibility to your health, or what you've been doing to work against yourself, is extremely important right now. And that means that put down the relationship issues for a second. Put down the career and the financial issues for a second, because as much as they seem like those big things right now, Capricorn, they are not. What is something that you should probably do right now is analyze what you put into your body, analyze any kind of things that have been happening inside of you that have been suspicious, and maybe even make a couple of doctor's appointments. I'm not saying that every Capricorn in the world is going to drop dead of a heart attack. That's not what I'm saying. But I think that it's a very good time karmically, because Saturn does rule karma, to really get back to, okay, my health, and why is it important? As well as health is somehow impacting your life. It could very well be a business that is growing, the health, not just the health of a business, but a health business, being a personal trainer, you know, being a nutritionist, being a doctor if you're in the medical field. Definitely something that is majorly impacting what you and your family are going through right now, and then necessitating you researching your family. So this is information about family, tough transition, like difficulty. This could even be home. This could even be about being homeschooled or because of the pandemic. So a lot of this could have to do with the pandemic and being very uncomfortable where you are right now because you have to do all your work from home and it not really working out for you, or having a very difficult time doing it, or definitely doing work at home and research at home, or research on your home and your family. So that is inquiring about your home and family. What else are you inquiring about? Something that could have infected a change all of a sudden that had to do with some sort of disease or some sort of illness or sickness, or a transition that was uncomfortable or unhealthy for you. Something that you are not comfortable with. You did not want to make this change, but ultimately it's something that you had to make because you didn't really have a choice to make it. So it's definitely something that probably was unbeknownst to you. You weren't really prepared for. It kind of snuck up on you. Here's your crossroads and here's your moon. Something hidden, something deceptive, a switch or a change or a choice that you don't have enough information about. Something that, there's something here that you don't have enough information about. And it could very well be, the new vaccine, wanting to know that the vaccine is going to be safe and healthy for your family before committing to it. And, or just a sense of like wanting to know more, like needing to know more, or needing to know that other people know more, and feeling these suspicions inside of you. Trust them is what I'm saying. Trust your suspicions. I'm not saying anti-vax. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you have any suspicions, if you have any inquiries, trust what you're saying. This is sort of like this could be like a flag that's flopping in your face for all the right reasons. This sense of, okay, something is up right now and I have to address it, and it does have to do with the health and the happiness and well-being of my family. And yes, that I feel like it is a big part of your physical health and well-being, but it could also be the emotional health and well-being of your family. I know you're like doom and gloom. Oh, I'm not doom and gloom, because this is something that you got. You could tackle this. You could get this under control as long as you know that it's out there and you have to address it. And once again, like people worry about their finances, of course. With Capricorn, your job, it is so important to you, your career and your success and what you build in this world. But the first thing that you should be working on building is yourself, your own body and your own health. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. So here is this sense of honestly assess. So look at the situation objectively. You see the person in this card is sort of analyzing things from afar. So they're not getting emotionally involved in it, because if they were emotionally involved in it, let's face it, might scare the shit out of them. But honestly, it's like, no, deal with this objectively so that step by step you can tackle this. Needing to like step back from a circumstance and look at the facts about something. Earth signs aren't necessarily, they're not like air signs at all. They're not intellectually or conceptually based, but they are pragmatic. It does have to make sense to you. It does have to feel right to you, as in there's solid ground to really put my faith in this, or I need to understand this on a level where I feel grounded and I feel comfortable with this. And ultimately, you don't feel that right now and you want to get there. So yes, let's start that process and trust yourself. It does have to do with not just you, but your family. Like I said, that's why it could be some sort of genetic, like something that is in the family history. So seriously, fucking be prepared for that. This is also a sense of consciously complete. So grounding, you can see the picture of the card, right? Grounding yourself, being surrounded by earth, making sure that you get the foundation and those strong facts that you need to feel really secure about something, allowing yourself to be the time to be able to do it, to feel grounded and know and understand. Now you have it's time to take action. It really, really is. It's time to take action on whatever this movement of health is. It may be, we all say to ourselves, oh, I'll start my diet after the holiday. you know, in a sense of, no, you could start your diet right now. And I'm not telling all Capricorns everywhere to diet. I'm just saying that now is the time to really start to put the groundwork in place, like lay the groundwork for a healthier or happier you and family. So that means that if you can feel that there's sicknesses, even emotional sicknesses beneath the surface, this is the time to really address them. Why? Because you will actually have a high level of creativity, a high, basically being able to be mentally clear and be mentally dexterous and be able to move around a lot and mentally malleable. There's a wonderful sense of you, and maybe even creating this of your own, like doing, like making this a project, or not creating the problem, but you'll be able to be creative enough and open-minded enough and flexible enough to help to be part of the solution. Your hard work is paying off. There you go. So really close to a conclusion, but also a sense of pat on the back, because what you are contributing, Capricorn, is a big deal. It's almost such a big deal. It's exciting. So there is a sense of you being part of the help, being part of the solution to a problem. And that's why I said some of you could be working on businesses or structuring or restructuring, or being the one that's throwing out all the junk food so your family doesn't eat it, and stocking the refrigerator with healthier foods, getting everybody like genetic tests. So whatever you're doing, there's some sort of spontaneous inspiration to sort of deal with things, deal with issues that could impact people that you love. Let's face it, be bold and make the first move. You're the one that now is the time to step into this new way of being and this new way of living. It's you making the first move and taking those first steps. Could very well be you being the example, right? Setting the example, but also a sense of, especially if this has anything to do with business, it's time. It's time to like kick it off. Fill the well. There was definitely a point, and you see the moon again, you see the moon here, right? The same moon, the new moon, a sense of emptiness, a sense of feeling empty. And you could have been depleted of something. So it could be a nutrient that you were depleted of. It could be a group of nutrients that you were depleted of. It could be emotions or happiness that you've been depleted of. Those are the kind of things that you need to start helping to refill and make sure that, you are taken care of, especially even literally being well hydrated, that kind of thing. Decorate. Yeah. So this is, making things beautiful, making things pretty, and taking care of things on the outside is the after effect of filling your heart on the inside. Because there was some sense of maybe you for the past, I don't know how many months or years, were taking care of making things beautiful on the outside, but you were getting drained. And you were allowing yourself to just really empty on the inside. So there is a sense of, okay, great, everything looks great on the outside, but there was an emptiness building on the inside. Now we're working on making the inside healthy and filling the inside and apologizing to yourself. Maybe this has to do, for some of you, we'll get into this. We'll get into this in tarot, right? Especially with the relationship reading. Yes, that link is below. There's always an extended. Guys, I always provide you that deep, seedy, nitty-gritty content that tarot provides for us, as well as your romance reading. So that link is below. But this is cueing me in on, this could very well be a relationship that was being depleted, a relationship that was becoming unhealthy, a relationship where everything looked good on the outside, but you hadn't really contributed, or you or they, right? There was a lack of contribution to it on the underside, like emotionally, the relationship was running dry. So there's a sense of trying to be very supportive and remedy that. Apologies coming into you, or you making apologies, or just the two of you sort of like realizing what you were doing to each other and how you were depleting each other, and deciding to basically like put the other first and start contributing and adding to this relationship. So it could very well have to do with some sort of relationship disorders that you're actually tackling as well. Let's see what your spirit guides have to say, your animal messengers. Okay. So we have Ooh, watch your words. There was some sort of attacking here. There was some sort of accusations, or yeah, somebody wasn't so nice with what they were saying. This is definitely an onslaught of insults, or not liking how people talk to you, or basically not liking, or maybe the lack of communication was the biggest problem. The fact that the communication had just completely shut down was a really big issue. There is also a sense of missing a lot of details, overlooking them, and those details, devil's in the details. It really, really is. So there's this sense of, if you were missing a lot, or you're missing a lot of the details, or communication had fallen apart, this could be part of the deconstruction of your health or the relationships inside your family. And that was like a main issue that was going on, was that lack of communication that comes in. And yes, it is partnership, lack of communication in a partnership. And now there's a sense of, or a desire to want to make peace and want to establish some sort of balance here, a balanced sense of communication, a balanced sense of contribution, healing. But this is love too. So this is a sense of, it's almost like this was a loving partnership that the communications just sort of like fell apart with. Maybe not, it could very well be because you held back and you didn't say what you needed to say. Or that you or them, you can always flip the energies, but there was something that could have very well been held back just to maintain the peace. And that's kind of what this is implying to me, that there were words that were unsaid, or this could be the problem, that it's building up now, and that's what has to be addressed, that there's stuff building up that needs to be addressed just to keep the peace. Something was repressed, and that whatever was repressed is really unhealthy for you guys. It's harming the relationship. Trust the great mystery. Yeah, you got to dive deep. This is going underneath the surface, to places that can only be intuitively comfortable, and they would not be comfortable to you. But it's basically taking the dive of faith to go into those darker places, and really kind of like see what's going on down there. Because ultimately there's some sense of, this is big. This has to do with big emotions. Yeah. And you held back. Some sort of large emotions were being restrained or constricted, not shared, denied, trying to pretend like everything was okay when it wasn't. Yeah, because this is a card of a great deal of burdens, a great deal of, emotions that are being withheld. And it becomes a heavier and heavier burden. This is a sense of, it was very deep. It was big stuff that wasn't being addressed. Why? Because you just kind of wanted to keep the peace. Something to be very, very aware of. Now, this could also be about some sort of health issues, or things that had been coming up, things that you had been feeling, different things that had been happening to you that you didn't want to share because you didn't want to worry your family. You wanted to maintain the peace, so you didn't want to talk about it. But this is a sense of, they're building up, and it's becoming a great burden on you. Take the lead. This is Stag Spirit. So this is being tapped by Spirit for a higher purpose, understanding a higher purpose, or your focus is on a bigger purpose, or a bigger meaning, a larger meaning. But ultimately what it is you finally realizing that you are a part of the bigger meaning. You are part of the bigger picture, that your health and your happiness are integral to you being able to fulfill your larger picture or your soul purpose. So if you don't have you, then you can't actually carry out what you're meant to carry out. This is also a sense of connectivity, something that's bigger than you, so it could very well be surrender now, like a moth to a flame, just give over and dive in. This is telling me that you were headed right into something. You could have been heading right into the bigger picture and just crash and burning, because you were putting yourself so much into the lead, taking so much on your own shoulders, that you were setting yourself up for a disaster of sorts, if you will. But this is also a Sagittarius season. and you be the one that steps out and says, okay, I'll go first. I'll go first. But ultimately, there's something that we need to address. Okay, in the future coming out, ooh, the abundant universe will provide. Holy moly. So this is Taurus energy. It's got to do with the house of finances. It has to do with luxury and abundance and 3D resources. It has to do with an abundant life that's there for you if you want it. And if you take care of yourself, this is about building abundance, deciding and investing in yourself, your family, or this project is 100% going to lead to a great deal of abundance. Be loyal to what you love. This is something that, in other words, you have the ability to make a shit ton of money and be really, really healthy and basically be living in your perfect world if you align yourself with what you really, really love. This is also a sense of through marriage, through connection, through partnership, there's a lot of abundance that's coming into your life. Owl spirit, you see clearly now. So finally being able to see in the dark, finally wise and sage, and that sense of knowing what's better, but also seeing something very clearly, spotting something, maybe something that through all the happiness and abundance, spotting something that needed to be spotted, those little mice that need to be taken care of, because those creepy crawlers in the walls can take down mansions, so it's almost like this guy shows up to make you realize, there's something we have not addressed. It's an oversight that is small, but it could fuck us up. Time to collaborate. So it very well could have directly to do with the collaboration or the partnership itself. So this is sort of flag on the play when it comes to partnership. We're getting into, more relationship things now. Flag on the play when it comes to partnership. It's just something that you have to be ready for. It's not something that will ruin you, but it is something that will build and eventually ruin you if you don't catch it now. This is the time to catch it and work on it, because it's definitely workable. And this is a really good partnership, actually. And maybe it was through somebody else's guidance or through the partnership itself that you see problems or issues, maybe in the partnership of your family or your friends, or you're starting to see these issues crop up. Help them. Point things out, say something. It's almost like you're not trying to say that your shit don't stink. You're trying to say that it does stink. That's the point. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. We don't have the perfect situation, but ultimately, guess what? You deserve happiness even if you're not perfect. So it's owning who you are and owning what you love. And even it's not going into a situation where I'm the guru and I'm perfect. No, I'm not perfect. And maybe that's why I'm the guru, and that's why I have to bring this all up and show people a better way to do things, something like that. Okay, so let's go into angel messages. Yes, I love these so much. They're seriously, this is my favorite part. I love angel messages because they're so not my voice, and I know it's when I know the angels are around me the whole time while I'm doing the readings. I absolutely know it. I just saw something fly by. It's it's usually little feathers or dust particles, and I'm okay with that. And you could definitely click over to tarot right now if you want. But hang around for the angel messages and then click over to tarot. Positive thinking. Positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude along with positive beliefs and thoughts are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry, think, love. So even those things that are scary for you, if you approach them with a positive attitude, how can we use this, or be positive about it instead of condemning somebody? Don't hold back, but you don't have to condemn somebody for overeating or not talking to their husband. Just be open up that conversation of wow, there's so much potential here, or there's so much we can do with this. Let's go about this as kind of something to build on, as opposed to something to feel ashamed by. Imagine, clearly visualize the life you want, feel it in your heart and soul, and so it will come to be. Oh, sticky now, sticky. Truth. See? The best way through the current situation is to just speak your truth. Contrary to what you may think, no one will be hurt if you express exactly how you feel. Hello. Anxiety. We surround you with the healing light of amethyst. Take a deep breath and breathe in this beautiful violet light. Feel your anxiety melting away. There is nothing to fear. There is only love. Fear. I, Archangel Michael, am here to help you through the present time. I love you. I protect you and keep you safe. Trust that all is well. Accept my love and allow it to dissolve your fear. Wow. And last but not least, positive outcome. The sun is about to burst through the clouds and you will soon see things in a different light. Something that previously seemed hopeless will soon be filled with nothing but hope. Let's break into the breakthrough with tarot. I'll see you guys in the extended. The link is below.